It's a tradition dating back 115 years in this country. So why stop now, right? Tuesday, the Royal Canadian Mint unveiled the first coin bearing the face of King Charles. You start seeing the King's loonies in circulation in early December. But do we still need to have the monarch on our money? Or are there other people that we can honor in that way? It may have lacked the royal fanfare, but that doesn't mean it lacks importance. The first pressing of a King Charles circulation coin took place at the Royal Canadian Mint's facility in Winnipeg. And it's a pretty big deal considering how long Queen Elizabeth has been on our money.
Since 1953, the portrait of the late Queen Elizabeth has graced the obverse of Canadian coins. Today, 70 years later, a new chapter in Canadian history begins.
Charles's coronation was back in May, and Commonwealth countries worked quickly to create a new design for their coins. The Mint says it usually takes between 12 and 18 months for all of it to come together.
I want to start by thanking the Government of Canada, the Office of the Secretary of the Governor-General of Canada, and Buckingham Palace for expediting the normal approval processes.
The new effigy maintains the tradition of the monarch facing the opposite way of their predecessor. The designer of this coin has done others, but he says this one is different.
It is a tremendous meaningful to see your artwork permanently engraved on a coin that will be passed on from generation to generation.
Aww. Charles.
The pressing of the first circulation coin coincided with the monarch's 75th birthday.
And Harry didn't go to his father's birthday? Oh.
Charles is well beyond retirement age.
If I had a father, I'd never miss a birthday.
We should retire the monarchy on our money. While the head side of our coins have always been a royal, our banknotes have featured former prime ministers and notable Canadians like Viola Desmond. So should
That's
that
right.
be a new tradition, or should the crown
She's on the $10 bill.
on our change? So here's the question we've been asking you all day. Do you still want the monarch on our money? 58.5% of you say no. 41.5% of you say yes. With that, let's bring in Kate Carnegie, the president of KC Media in St. Catharines, Ontario, and Carter Vierma, who we remember from the first segment. Kate, let's give you first stab at this one. What do you think of still having the monarch on our money?
Well, you know, it's very interesting because you mentioned generations there in that story, and I really think it's going to depend on which generation you are asking. I mean, it is no secret that the popularity of the monarchy, or the institution, as we're learning more about, is falling from grace at this point. It is losing popularity in Canada. And
Thanks to Meghan Markle.
It's stuffy and outdated. It bears the weight of history, the responsibility for centuries of suffering of Indigenous people. So, I mean, for myself, I would go ahead and say that it doesn't really make a difference to me. I mean, I do agree with the fact that I think there are a lot of Canadians who would probably be better suited. At the same time, this is a coin, for the most part. Who even carries money anymore? I mean, money has become so digital that when it comes to it, you know, when I'm picking up a loony, and the last thing I'm doing is checking to see who's on it. And so, you know, it's interesting because I saw this weekend. My 6-year-old earned $2, and I gave him 2 loonies, and he looked at me and said, "Mom,
Who's that?
Cash money." So, you know, the whole interest in coins, I just really don't think is there anymore.
Well, that's not true.
This is probably something that is.
There's
going
lots
to
of
be
people who
debated
have coin
down
collections.
even more. But
I
it does
found a
open that
nickel
conversation
that
of
had
the
Queen
monarchy
Elizabeth's
and
father
its
Bertie on it,
I
or
mean,
King
there's a lot of
George.
people that are going to
King
look at this
George
story,
III.
look at this debate,
At any
just
rate,
be absolutely
and I
appalled
kept
with
it for the
fact
longest
that
time,
King Charles
and
is on
during the
money, and how
move
much
I
did it
actually
cost to do
lost
that,
it.
and how much was invested in that? Where couldn't that money have gone to a better, you know, source?
Very
So
good
for
question.
me, it makes no difference. I really do think it's a generational thing, and as we start to see more of the younger generation weigh in on topics like this, I really don't see this continuing on.
It's interesting, Kari, because we're talking about the relevancy of the monarchy, but also of money in general, cash. To Kate's point, who's going around with loonies, and does it even make sense to be
I
loonies anymore?
keep
Certainly
cash.
You need cash in circulation.
I think that.
But it really is sort of.
Oh gosh, has anybody seen the movie Into the Trees with Rachel Evan Wood and the actress?
If the accession of King Charles happened about 10 years ago, I imagine this conversation would look a little different. But, tap this, tap that, you want to talk about whether you even use your money anymore. Do people even use their cards anymore? Apple Pay, Google Pay, whatever. And so I think it mutes.
I'm afraid that the world's gonna go black and electricity will be so used out because of. I'm not even going there. I don't know, folks. What do you think?
I will actually be willing to say
Drop in the comments what you think. Thank you for joining L&L Soul Sisters. Take care of yourself, please.